The Chegofatso.
Tshegofatso.
Chegofatso.
Yes.
Why is there at the beginning?
Well, I've had so many channels, so many social media accounts, and like I think back then the trend was like just to like have something cool and different. So I had things that weren't my name. And by the time I wanted to change my handles to my actual name, my name was taken.
Oh no.
So I was like, you know what? I'm the official one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do people react to that? Like, have you ever heard someone say really cool username and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think people like it because it's like it's the Tshegofatso, like
Yeah.
that's the official one. And I think it's also because it's on all my platforms. It's exactly the same. So now people can just know that it's the Tshegofatso.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're a software engineer, you're a woman in tech, you're a content creator, a very successful YouTuber. Let's start from the very beginning of your career or
Okay.
your life, basically.
Yes.
How were you raised? Where were you raised? How was that?
So I've been in Pretoria my whole life. I went to primary school, high school, varsity. I'm still there. So that's where it started. I think I'm gonna start off in like grade 8 when I was like 14. Yeah, so that's where I was. I had a blog at that point, and I was blogging about fashion and beauty and other random stuff. And in 2015, when I was in grade 9, I was like seeing people's blogs. I'm like, these blogs are kind of nice and cool. Mine's so boring. How do I how do I make it nice? Add all these cool things. And that's when I started learning about HTML and CSS. And I'm like,
You were
okay.
15.
Yes.
Okay.
In grade 9. Yeah. And I was like, this is cool. This is interesting. I can move things around. I can change the color of my background. And I thought that was really cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to take IT in grade 10. And then in grade 10, I took IT as a subject. At school, I was learning Scratch, which I actually really didn't like at that point. I did Scratch for like a couple of months. And then we did Delphi. And yeah, that's where my programming journey started. And yeah, still in high school, still doing like content. I do like random videos. I actually did more blogging in high school because I couldn't afford data to upload on YouTube. So I had to stick to blogging because I could just release more often. But then if I wanted to upload a YouTube video, I had to plan to actually buy data so that I could upload. And then sometimes it fails, but it already used up the data. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's the journey. And I enjoyed programming, so I decided to go study computer science.
At TUT?
At UP.
At UP.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, I studied computer science. I was there from 2018 and I graduated in April 2021.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced in uni?
I think one of the most shocking things, because with me, I've always been good at school, good at math. And when I got there first year, I think it was like the first time I really struggled in school. And it was so shocking because it was like, I'm just used to knowing things. So I think I had never actually learned how to like actually study properly because I was just at school, it just kind of worked out for me. But when I got to varsity, I actually had to sit and try to understand how things actually work. I couldn't just read it and then go write a test and pass. So yeah, that was really like scary. I think also like now I'm 18. I also have like other like real life problems going on and having to balance like school and, dealing with life. But yeah, I think school, a lot of the things were hard. I had to figure out how to actually study and do everything. And I think also my mentality was like wrong. I was just trying to pass. I was just like, so.
You're not trying to be the best.
Yeah, and I wasn't actually trying to learn to understand. It was kind of like, I'm here. I just want to get my 50% and go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting that you say that. I always come across a lot of first year students. So they were doing really well in high school, right? They're
Yes.
acing everything. Then they get to uni. And for the first time in their life, they have freedom. They don't have parents on their backs.
Yes.
And the grades start suffering. And then it's a matter of how quickly can you start adjusting your time to say, okay, I'm here to actually pass exams, but also at the same time, I want to have fun in uni.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very hard.
It's very hard.
Because like you just get thrown in there and it's like all the freedom you never had.
Yeah.
But like you still need to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you successfully graduated with computer science. Walk us through how you managed to get your first job in
Yeah.
tech.
Okay, well, I did successfully graduate, but there were some ups and downs. I think I failed a module in first year, and that was like a wake up call. Like, oh my gosh, I need to get it together. I can't just.
Mm.
Isn't this is not high school? This is real, and I had to get it together. Then yes, I did pass April 2021, and my first job was kind of I have to go back to my so my first to get to my first job in tech. I have to kind of rewind to all the jobs I had.
Mm.
So everyone always asks me like, you do so many things. How do you do it? I've just always done it. So after I finished high school, I started working. I was working at a mall as a photographer for those like the Father Christmas setup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was working there the first December right after I finished high school. So that's where I started. Made some money, and then first year I worked at a mall at a retail store. I was there. I was a retail assistant, so I had that experience already, like on my CV. And in my final year, which is in 2020, we had the pandemic and everything. We're at home, and I was doing some projects. I was doing like HTML, CSS websites because I had now experience from varsity, so I had like more playing around with different things, building actual stuff, and I put it like all on a website and I put it in my bio on Twitter. So
Okay.
actually, someone DM'd me and they're like, "Hi, I saw your portfolio. Can you send me your CV?" Because at the time I had posted like 2 months ago or something, asking because I wasn't sure if I was going to go back to school for my final year because of finances. So I'd posted on my Twitter about that. So someone had seen that. They hadn't responded to that, but like 2 months later, they kind of like remembered, like, okay, and they had a job opportunity. So they asked me to send the CV. I sent my CV and I started freelancing there in my final year as a web
Mm.
developer. So I did that for about, that was March to like May, June. So just for a couple of months because it was also my final year. So I needed to like, if I want this degree, I need to,
You have to focus
yeah,
now.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I got like, it was like my first job in tech, actually building websites that are going to people. I think before it was like, when it's like an assignment,
Yeah.
you sometimes you're like, I'm just gonna, but like, no, this time it's like people are actually gonna use this. So I used to stay up so late working on that. Then I have to wake up, do my schoolwork, sleep late to actually upskill so I can actually do my job. So it was such a great learning experience. It was a lot, but it was a really good learning experience. And yeah, so that was my first job in tech. And that helped me get my actual like first full-time job. It was with the same company once I've finished school. So they found out that I had gotten experience with React Native
Okay.
and they were looking for a React Native developer. And yeah, I got hired there.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank
So
you.
that's the power of social media, right?
Yes, yeah,
Someone just saw one of your tweets
yes,
and then they reached out to you and you managed to get your first proper real world life experience thanks
yes,
to that one tweet.
yes.
Or would you say thanks to maybe the accumulation of your tweets because they'll keep seeing you on the
Mm,
platform probably?
I'd say maybe an accumulation. I guess maybe it started with that first tweet for them to actually find me and then follow me and so on. But I think also like having like the experience and showing initiative because I think probably like my
Mm.
first that like the tweet they saw was me saying like, oh, I'm not sure I'm gonna go back to school this year, whatever, and my story putting that on Twitter. But then I think they saw like, oh, okay, she was working before, she's built a website with a portfolio, and like just having also like the initiative to show that I'm actually trying to
You're
do
actually
something.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Very inspirational.
Yeah.
And then, so after you got that full time job, is that the same job that you've kept until now, or did you change jobs?
I did change jobs. So I stayed there for 7 months. And the reason I left was because it was a very small company and they were still growing and I was still growing. So I was kind of
Mm.
looking for like a different opportunity where I could, I guess, learn more from a more established company.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's when I got my second job and I'm still there now. It's been over 2.5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I always recommend people to change jobs.
Yes.
And except unless you're working
Yeah.
at Mousesoft, unless you're working for us,
Yeah.
please don't change jobs, right? And the
Yeah.
reason is companies will not give you a big raise
Mm.
as opposed to another company offering you a new job. It's always like that. Your company will
Yeah.
maybe give you like a 10-15% raise, but another company could just give you 50% or even 100%.
Yeah. I think my situation is a bit different. For me, I've had a totally different experience. I really enjoy where I work. That's why I'm still there now. And I feel like I've grown and I've learned so much. And I think my like every year my salary has grown.
Hmm.
And I've even like, progressed in my career because now like I just started there as a junior dev. And earlier this year I got promoted to be a team lead. So I'm currently
Wow.
leading a team there. So it's
Oh,
been
congrats.
thank
Congratulations.
you. So yeah,
And you say these things, these big accomplishments like they're
yeah.
small little things.
Yeah, so it's been good. It's been amazing for my growth, and I've also seen my salary grow as well. I think it also like I think the culture of the company really, because I think with myself, I got the job through a platform online that hires people in tech. And when they ask you for like the salary you want to get.
Is that offers in?
Yes, that's offers in. Yeah. So I
Okay.
put my salary there, like the desired salary. And already from that time, when I started working there, they offered me more than what I was asking for. So I think if you get a good company with a good culture, like they will really see your worth and pay you for it. But yeah, I
Mm,
have heard a lot of people saying like moving is what works for them. But yeah,
mm.
I think I just got lucky in that space.
Interesting. What are some of the characteristics of the company culture that you love so much that make you continue to stay to be loyal to them?
Yeah. I'd say first of all is the product that we're building. Um, I don't like to share where I work, unfortunately, but it's like a big like app that it's used by lots of South Africans, and I really enjoy being involved in that. There's also like a lot of young people that are just also very determined to like release the best product that we can release, and it's just so great to have a space to come up with ideas and then actually build that up and get to see it put out there, used by so many people. And yeah, and also like being like the industry like standard or like leading that industry. I think that's been really great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Tell us a little bit more about the company that you're at
Mm.
in terms of being a woman in the tech space. How has that been? And how many women are in such in a team lead kind of a position?
Yeah, they are not even before we even get to a team lead position,
Mm.
just as software developers and software engineers, there's not a lot of women. I'm currently the only woman in the team,
Wow.
just working with guys. So I think there's definitely space for us to bring in more women. But always, as I said, it shouldn't just be for numbers. But I think there are really great women out there doing
Yeah.
amazing things. So there is space, and we should, yeah, open up the opportunities a bit more. That's another space where I'm lucky to be in. I've never experienced any like, weird stuff. It's all like the YouTube comments. But like in the workplace, everyone is super kind, super great. But I do think we have really more space for women. Like I've worked with a couple of women. Like at this moment, currently the only female developer in the space, but I have like they've come and go, and they're really great, do what they need to do. And yeah, so I think we should, yeah, I think that's why I also like that I have my platform so people can see like, okay, you know what,
It's
there's another woman
possible.
in the space, she's doing it, there's opportunities for us. And on TikTok, I think it's been really great. There's so many female developers on there. I just love the energy, the community, and yeah, I really like that.
I really, really like what you've just said, right? To say that the opportunities are there for
Mm.
women, but we don't have enough women coming into the tech space, which is why I like initiatives like Girl Code, She
Yes.
Codes, and these other platforms. And also, we had a few students from Within Code come to our campus last week, and they were women,
Mm.
and they were just asking, how can we break into the tech space? And my advice to them was, if only you knew how much women are being demanded right now. There are
Mm.
certain job roles that will say women preferred, or certain tenders or opportunities that will say women preferred. But you also have to be good enough. You
Mm.
also have to be good enough technically, great soft skills, and not just say, "Oh, I'm a woman, so
Mm.
please
True.
get me." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely believe that. And yeah, I think even with myself, I've always made it an effort to be good at what I do. And but I also I think there's lots of women out there, they are good at what they do. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just need to get them in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So you've got a full-time job
Yes.
and you also have Easy Code.
Yes.
Please tell us more about that Easy Code.
All right, so I'm a co-founder of a code tutoring company called Easy Code. We started in 2021. And yeah, so basically we teach people how to code. So we have different formats. We have one-on-one online sessions, we have group boot camps, and we also do employee upskilling where we go to like companies and teach the people how to code.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you even balance a full-time job, a startup, and we're gonna chat about the side hustles
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
The answer is cliche, but it's so real. I am passionate about everything that I do. So it makes it easy for me to be like, I think one problem that I do have, I don't get enough sleep, you know,
No,
and
okay.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
But like, that's what enables me to be like, I can work from 9 to 5, 5 o'clock, finish work, start my next side hustle from like 5 to 9, and then do another thing from like 9 to midnight, and then like get 5 hours of sleep.
Mm,
So I think I'm also like, I'm young now, using the, I have the energy to do that. So I do that,
yeah.
but it's very demanding. It takes up a lot of time, a lot of effort. But I think the fact that I really enjoy everything that I do is really, that's what keeps me going. That's how I manage to do it all. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, guys, you kind of have to sacrifice a few hours of sleep
Yeah.
during the night to get to where you want to get to, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely true. Even for me and my brother will testify when we're building the all of our businesses.
Yeah.
Really, sleep is optional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't recommend it though.
True.
Yeah. Okay, so Easy Code.
Yes.
I always see you guys posting a lot of pictures in schools and training the young kids, and then they get certificates. What is the biggest reason why you started Easy Code?
Yeah, so when we started, actually, the aim was for kids. So it's going to be ages 9 to 16 and teach them how to code. So the guys I started Easy Code with, we all studied at UP, studied computer science and IT. And we felt that, or they felt that they just, when they started varsity, it was the first time they actually discovered this thing. It's like, what is this? Now it's the first time you're interacting with the computer. It's the first time you know that this, career exists. And they were just lucky to find it. So the goal was actually to get it out there and show people like, oh, okay, this is this career, to expose them to this so that if they, decided that they wanted to study computer science and carry on at some point, then at least they had exposure. So that's why we usually go to like the less advantaged schools where usually they just have CAT, or some schools don't even have access to like the computer facilities. So we bring that to them and allow them to actually interact with the computers and so on. And also there's also other schools that don't have these that don't have like coding and whatever. So some of the kids enjoy it, but they don't know how to learn by themselves. So that's how we also do like the one-on-one sessions. So like the parents would sign up the students as like an extramural activity. So after school, they'll have the lessons so they learn something that they're actually interested in.
Okay, and it's the parents that pay for the training.
So for our one-on-one sessions, it's usually the parents, but then when we go to the other schools, other disadvantaged schools, we usually do have sponsors for that.
Wow, well done, congrats. It's a brilliant initiative, really. Honestly, we had this round table discussion the other day, and we were speaking about, oh, how can we bring cloud and AI and all these amazing new technologies into South Africa, right? And then one lady from the Chimolokong guys, I'm not a local. Please, if I butcher some of the words, but I have to try. I have to improve on
Yeah.
that. Chimolokong precinct, I think.
Okay.
She was like, we need to really start at the roots, like grade 0, grade
Yeah.
1, and then even things like computer literacy. Apparently that's
Yes.
also something that's not.
That's a big one. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's what we also realized because we would go into the schools and say, we're here to teach HTML and CSS, but then the students have not even interacted with the computer before. So that's another big one. Yeah.
So if you were to ask for support right now to take Easy Code from where it is now to where you want it to be, what kind of support would you be looking for?
I think sponsors for the events. I think we hosted a 4-week boot camp, and that's really what made it happen. So, for example, we provide the students with lunches. We give them the resources we need the venue, we need the resources. It's also good to give away some gifts. We got to give away a laptop recently. So yeah, I think just support in finances, any ways that people can sponsor. I mean, recently we also got like notebooks and pens for the students and so
Wow.
on. So yeah, I think any ways that people can sponsor. I think nothing is too small. Like, we do gifts. So if you want to sponsor one gift for like the top student, anything like that, that's what we're doing now. And I think just exposure. We're just trying to get our name out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then to add on top of your full-time job in Easy Code, I always see you posting side hustles, like you sell candles and stuff.
Yes.
What are some of the side hustles that you have?
Yeah, so I think the ones that take up most of my time now is candles and my social media. So yeah, I sell candles handmade by me. So I spend hours there making candles. But as I said, it's another like passion project. Like, I really enjoy it. It started from me trying to take a step back from my computer because I'm coding, I'm
Mm.
editing my videos, I'm doing a lot of things. So I'm like, I need something that makes me like step away. And then I started making the candles. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of good at this. Let me sell them, So that's where it came from. And I really enjoy it, like developing all the scents, getting to make up. Like, I made this with my hands and people get to experience it. And it's so great. I really enjoy it. So I do that. And another thing that takes up my time is content creation
Yeah.
because I have my YouTube channel and I'm now trying all the other platforms. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess this is the perfect time to speak about that.
Yes.
First of all, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
It's not easy
Yeah.
to post that post
Yeah.
button, especially the first few times.
Yes.
And the fact that you've been so consistent of over a 10-year period, you're constantly putting out content and the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
30K subs today and you're still
Yeah.
25. I was on a chat with Misho Ngoveni from Geek Culture the other
Yes.
day, and he mentioned you saying you are one of the top tech content creators that we
Oh
have
wow.
in South
Yeah.
Africa
That's good
because
to hear
it's not
that.
easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah. Tell us about your journey in content creation, or how you started and how you got to where
Yeah.
you are now.
It started 10 years ago. As you said, I'm like, it always makes you realize, well, I'm kind of old. But yeah, I started 10 years ago. It was just for fun at that point. As I mentioned, it was part of like, I just enjoyed putting out content. So I was like doing the blogging stuff and then doing YouTube on the side, doing random videos, makeup videos, just anything you can name. I've probably tried it. Like, I've done all the different types of videos. I think my channel kind of started taking like a proper direction in 2020. I remember I shared a video about online side
Was
hustles
it
that,
during the lockdown?
yes, I shared a video about the side hustles I was doing. And yeah, then people really liked that. And then I realized to me, it was kind of like, I was just like, oh, this is something that I know. I'm just going to put it on YouTube. And I'm like, actually, like, there's a couple of things I know that I want to share. And that's literally what my channel is till this day. It's like, sometimes it feels like people probably know this, but sometimes information is not just out there, and especially where I started with like personal finance. Like, I think we don't have enough like personal finance education. Like, I'm not a personal finance expert, but whenever I learn something, I'm like, I didn't know this. So imagine how many people didn't know this. And that's so when I talk about entrepreneurship, personal finance, and tech, that's the idea I have. Even with my tech content, I started with, okay, guys, I'm in my final year of computer science. This is what my experience has been. And people are like, okay, here are more questions. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I got my first job. This is how I did that. Now I've been working for 2 years. So I have a yearly video, like 1 year as a software developer, 2 years as a software. And it's just like, okay, this is how the second year was. And people just, I think it's just, putting out that information. And I really enjoy that. So yeah, even like now, I just like when there's something I want to share, and I'm like, oh, okay, I tried this, or these are the projects I've built. There's one that was doing really well recently that I uploaded or sharing some of, and people actually want to see more into the projects. I'm actually really excited to go into that. And now, the channel's evolving, it's growing. Maybe we'll build a project together on the channel. I'm like telling the
Yeah.
people, I'm like, okay, maybe let's start a series, let's build something like it can be our thing. So I'm really enjoying it, and especially how it can actually evolve. So I've been there for 10 years, but it hasn't looked the same over the 10 years. Yeah.
You're constantly improving,
Yeah.
constantly getting better.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also with regards to content, we are living in the attention economy these days. Like
Yes.
everyone is pretty much glued to their phone. So if you can be really, really great at creating content and getting noticed, a lot of opportunities will open for you.
True,
What are
true.
some of the opportunities that have opened up in your life as a result of your content creation, besides
I,
being invited to the best podcast in the
yeah.
world?
I think one of the best ones was in 2022. I was part of the YouTube Black class of 2022, and that was like I couldn't believe it. I was like, did they know they chose me? Like it's just me, you know. So that was a really great opportunity. Like my channel got funding. That's how I
Wow.
was able to get like my MacBook, my camera, my I have my podcast mics, everything. And yeah, and also I had a manager at that point kind of like guiding me like, okay, this is a strategy, try this, whatever. Got to meet a lot of creators in the space, so that was like one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I'm like, I can't believe that actually happened, but otherwise I think even now I still like get to work with some really great brands. I think also 2024 has been a really great. I haven't been uploading as much as I used to, but I think in terms of like sponsorships and so on, that's been really great. And what's really good as well is that it's companies that align with what I'm trying to do. So I'm like, it's so great for me to be able to like, share that with my community. So I think I really like that. So it's been good for like my personal finance as well, but also I think another thing is like building that community. Like people sometimes when a video doesn't do so well, I'm like, when just a few views, and then someone like will DM me and like, hey Tseho, like I just started an internship, I used to watch your videos before I even knew what computer science was, and I'm like, wow. Even if so, I'm like, now my whole thing is like, even if it's just one person that can benefit from this video, and I'm like, am I getting emotional now? But it's like that's what's been really so fulfilling out of like the channel. That's why I just really enjoy it. Like even now, like I'll share the most random videos. Sometimes like it doesn't really align with the channel, but I'm like, I want to share it, and I'm sure there's someone that's gonna benefit from this. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much for
yeah,
that. There was a quote also from Mr. Beast, I think the best YouTuber in the world.
yeah,
I mean, the
yeah,
numbers don't lie,
yeah.
right? And he said that when you're just starting out, don't even look about the numbers. Don't even look at the numbers. Don't care. Don't focus on them. But
True.
just make sure that every single video that you post, the next video needs to be slightly better. The next video needs to be slightly better until you get to 100 videos, because there's so much that goes into creating a
Yeah,
YouTube channel. I mean, like now my subscriber base is on 150.
yeah.
Just imagine you are on 31,000.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think another thing, for example, it took me like I think like 4 years or something to get to 1,000. And then over the next year I got to 10,000. So I
Wow.
think as long as if you like I think what Mr. B said, like putting out that content, because once it finally reaches the people, now they also have all that content to look back to. So like that's why you must always be making sure that you're doing your best, you're doing what you actually want to put out there, because once it gets there, yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll get there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. And then on still on content,
Mm.
in terms of your tips and tricks or secrets that made you get to where you are today, is it purely hard work and consistency, or are there other things that you feel like people should know in order to grow on YouTube?
I think for me it was just like being myself. I know it's probably like cliche, but like I'm just like I just chat, I make jokes. I'm like it's not too serious. I'm just being myself when I get in front of the camera. So I think that's people probably always hear it, but it's like don't try to watch my videos and say, oh, Tsuho does 1, 2, 3. Let me also try to do that. I think just be yourself, and I think the consistency has played a big part of it. And I think also stuff with like the search engine optimization, like thumbnails and titles. You kind of need to know how to do that. Like it has to kind of be like clickbaity but true.
Mm.
So like it's you're competing with so many different people on YouTube. Like your thumbnail needs to like pop. And yeah, so I think I spend a lot of time like just checking. I'll check like the videos I like. I would look at I'm like, what did I like about this thumbnail? What I like about this title? What made me click? I also look at my analytics and I'm like, okay, what worked, what didn't work? And once I've also grown this community. So I also asked, like, what do you guys want to see from me? Because now people are here to, they don't just want to see like a random vlog. That's why I had to separate my channels, because now I have a vlog channel where I get to be myself. And then I have another channel where I do like, people know that, okay, we're coming here for serious things. And if they want to get to know me, they get to go to the other channel. So yeah, I think just spending time seeing how your videos are doing, seeing what you like. And yeah, I think the first thing should, before you start looking at the numbers, the thumbnails, it's just like about you and what you like. And once you start figuring that out, and then you can kind of now like, okay, let me, you know.
Thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot. I
Yeah,
mean, for
same.
me, my YouTube game has just really got up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of this chat. Thank you. All right. I think I had one more question on content creation, but if it comes back, I'll just ask. Okay, so one of your hobbies is traveling.
Yes.
How has traveling changed your life?
Okay, I'm gonna rewind. Like, I've always wanted to travel. Like, it's been a thing that I wanted to do. At some point, I wanted to be a travel writer because I'm like, I want to do a job that gets me to travel. But then I got into like my career now as a software developer. But then I'm like, actually, like, I have all my side hustles and working hard. I'm like, yeah, I have the opportunity to travel. And I started doing that. I actually do a lot of like solo trips. I've done like two. I've got one coming up next week. And it's been so amazing. I really enjoy it so much because I know I speak so much. People just know me on the internet by like just talking and talking and talking. But I'm so shy and so reserved. And I think just going out there has really helped me just to like for my personal growth, to actually interact with people, see people, all of that. But one of the biggest things is kind of realizing that like whenever I go out there and I see how different things are, it just opens my eyes. Like, wow, there's so much to see out there. And I always say, I'm like, that's what motivates me also to work so hard. Because I'm like, I'll go out there, travel, see places, do stuff. And then I come back home and I'm like, okay, I need to work hard for that
Yeah.
next trip. But yeah, no, I really enjoy it so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, traveling is one of the best things. My brother and I, like, we can save money on almost everything, but when it comes to traveling, now we are going on that trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're splurging.
But if I go back actually to
Yeah.
include some personal finance info, I'm not a financial
Okay,
advisor or
please tell
anything.
us.
Yeah. But also I think that's also like what you mentioned there is you also need to know when it comes to your personal finances, like what you enjoy to spend money on. Like there's so many things I save on because I know I'm saving for that next trip. So I'm not like just spending money on everything. Like I know like this is what I enjoy, and because I think like the reason I brought that is because like with like social media, people like will see other people like buying designer bags, then this person buying their dream car, and this person traveling, and then you want to now spend money on all of those things. But it's
Yeah.
kind of like, no, what do you like? What do you enjoy spending your money on? And then decide for yourself. Yeah.
Interesting. You've studied personal finance quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one subject that A, is not taught in schools, and B, especially amongst us black people,
Yes.
who's going to teach you personal finance? Definitely not your uncle. Definitely not. I mean, unless you were raised
Yeah.
in that kind of a family. But the majority of us black people, we don't have access to personal finance education.
Yeah.
What are some of the top tips and lessons that you've learned in personal finance that you feel someone 20, 25 years old should know?
I think the first thing would be knowing your why. So kind of with me, when I started my personal finance journey, I'm like, why do I have to save? Why do I have to budget? Why do I have to? But then you have to just sit down, like, what's my plan for my life, And then once you know why you're doing a certain thing, it makes it so much easier to say, okay, I'm putting together my budget because I know I'm trying to accomplish 1, 2, 3, and that just makes everything else easier because you're like, I'm gonna create my budget and I'm gonna stick to it because I know why I'm doing it. I'm gonna save this amount of money because I know why I'm doing it. I'm gonna invest. But also, I think just starting, like, don't be too scared. I think there's so many, like, you probably watch all these personal finance people, and I'm busy saying invest and save and do this. Well, like, start where you are. When I started investing, that's where I started. I didn't even start by saving anything. I just started investing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following the hype. I'm like, people are making money. I want to get rich by tomorrow. I didn't even
Yeah.
understand it at that point. But if I had never started that time,
Mm.
I wouldn't be where I am now. So it's literally just starting. Whether you want to save 100 rands a month or you want to go and invest like 500 or like anything, nothing is too small. Platforms like Easy Equities allow you to start with like 10 rands. So I think just start and figure it out, because I think it's also about building that habit. Because once you start with whatever you have, once the money starts growing, you've already started building up that habit. Yeah.
Interesting. So just start.
Just start.
Basically,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
start investing.
Yeah, because there's also like there's so much content. So just go check it out. I think people are putting out such amazing content out there. The resources are there. If you feel like you don't really know what to do, where to start, everything is out there. Like, yeah. Easy Equities also has an academy, like a free online resources. Because I'm not a financial advisor. These platforms have done it. Frank, I think, also has some resources. So if you just go online, there's so much to learn. Like, you just need to be willing to put in the time and effort.
Why do you think people don't invest? I mean, I think everyone knows that you need to invest or you need to save or you need to take care of your money. Why do you think people simply ignore all the great advice that comes their way?
I'm not too sure actually, but I'd say maybe a lack of understanding or lack of, I'm just thinking about myself, like just feeling like it's not a priority. I think because we've never had that, um, told to us from a young age. So you just
Yeah.
start working one day, you're like, so much money, let me live my life. So I think it's kind of like, or not realizing the importance of it. So I think maybe if we keep on doing like these educational things, putting it out there so that you start actually thinking about it. So I just think it's not something that's like built into us, and we just, I don't know actually, but yeah.
It's lack of education.
Do
Yeah.
you invest, Mr. Larry?
Yes, I'm 100% all in
Yeah.
on one stock and one
Okay.
stock only. The Microsoft Academy stock. All in on that. All right, cool. So as we wrap up, any one word of advice that you would give to 18-year-old Chekofatso?
Yeah. Where was I at 18? I'd say one word of advice. Advice. I think just don't be scared to put yourself out there. Like I said, even I think maybe that might even be to my 25-year-old self, because I'm so shy and so like, but I've seen how just, getting out of my shell a little bit has brought in so many opportunities. And I think it could be so much more if I just had the, just to say like, you have it, you got that thing. So just put yourself out there and don't be scared. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What an amazing recording. I've learned a lot. Like
Yeah.
from now on, my YouTube game is going to be on another
Yeah.
level.
Now I'd glad to hear that.
Yeah. And thank you for taking the time to come and record. Guys, today you learned a lot. You learned about breaking into tech. If you're a woman, you just need to be good enough and the opportunities are there, right? You learned about the importance of content creation. She got her first job from a tweet.
Yes.
Yeah, just imagine.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you are shy. You're afraid. I mean, not you, but
Yeah.
you as the audience, you're afraid to start posting.
And there's also LinkedIn as well, if you want
Yeah.
a more like professional setting. And yeah, there's also LinkedIn. I think also like, because I got my job through OfferZen, but they had actually also messaged me on LinkedIn at the time. So I know people, they don't like the LinkedIn culture because of how it is. But guys, it's such a good platform. And I'm there busy saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I did, and it
Yeah.
works. So
LinkedIn is gold.
Yeah,
LinkedIn
so-
is anything that you want, any sort of network connection, it's there.
yes.
Yeah. And also now we learned about having side hustles, how they can supplement your income and how they can actually make you be more creative, and the importance of knowing how to save money, how to invest, the personal finance, and all these things. So thank you so much, guys. Shameless plug, last minute.
Yeah.
Here you 1 minute to sell yourself.
All right. But luckily it's easy. It is the Tsurufatso on all platforms. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So yeah, just find me there, and yeah, I have lots of podcasts and other things. So yeah, you'll find it on my socials.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Oh, we didn't utilize the ghost. Sorry.